how did you feel when you were trying to figure out what was going on with your leg and foot?
Well, I went down the traditional route first, because I came from a quite conventional background, and that's just what we do. We go to the doctors, we go to the physios, we see the specialists, we get the scans, and nothing was revealing anything. And so I was left in quite a confused and frustrated state. And anytime anything would change, like if I had some kind of movement one day, that would then literally disappear the next. And I talk about movement, I talk about millimeters, but that to me was an achievement. And I would contact these professionals that I was in contact with, and none of them were interested. None of them had the time, and that would make me more and more frustrated. And so, all of this is like by divine design. It worked out to be the greatest thing, for me because of the line of work I'm in now and my knowledge going on that journey by myself. So I just started reading and researching, and uh, I took what nudges were given to me, go to this Buddhist meditation center, literally because I just wanted space to breathe. And it was really when I got that word psychosomatic, as soon as I got home, I started researching about psychosomatic foot drop because that was the closest kind of term I could get to what the presentation of my symptoms were. But I found psychosomatic everything, psychosomatic tennis elbow, psychosomatic back pain, like everything psychosomatic. And these people kept referencing a particular doctor, Dr. John E. Sarno. He's written wonderful books, but one of his books, Healing Back Pain, is amazing. And so this particular doctor surgeon kept being referenced. I'm like, who is this guy? And he was based in a New York hospital, and he used to work with people who presented with back pain, and he would perform surgery on these people. And what he found is that the majority of these people that he performed back pain on, a year later, were presenting with the same symptoms. So it hadn't helped their pain. And year after year of this happening, he decided something is up here. And so he started talking to them, and he realized that a lot of them were going through some kind of emotional difficulty, some crisis. And so he split the groups then. He talked to half of them and he performed surgery on half of them. And what he found a year later is always the group that he talked to were performing far better, had maybe say 90% were pain free as compared to the group who had surgery. So then he completely flipped his practice and started teaching these people about the mind body connection. And so I was reading all of these stories in kind of these forums in the internet, not the front of the internet. Like I was really searching for individual stories, and I was finding a lot of them of people understanding that their mind was causing it and were able to heal it. And I was like, well, if these people are able to heal it, I will be able to heal it. And Dr. Johnny Sarno had a theory that it was something kind of like an oxygen switch. I don't think he called it an oxygen switch, but the way I was reading, I understood it at the time. I was like, right, my brain has turned an oxygen switch off to my foot, and that is why it's lost mobility. I just need to turn the oxygen back on. I just need to switch it back on. And if my brain could switch it off, then I could switch it on. I was convinced of that by what I was reading, and because I'd come into a place of kind of inner felt knowing that this absolutely has an emotional underroot. Absolutely. And so I decided then that I was going to talk to my brain, have a good talking to my brain. And so I locked myself into a room so I wouldn't be disturbed. Like, I'm so angry. You've taken away the use of my foot. I used to be really mobile, yoga, hiking mountains. I was so fit. There's no reason why there should be anything physically wrong with me. Like, this is bullshit. So I really felt it all and just let it out because my mind knows, right? I'm the only person I'm really admitting it to is myself. Like, all of the cells of my body are aware of what we're living in, and it's more kind of admitting to myself like that this is not fair, just saying it aloud. And then the second step then, because I was able to kind of move that out of my system, was thank you. Thank you. And why am I saying thank you? Because my mind is giving me something to focus on that takes up all of my attention. All I'm doing is worrying about how do I get my foot back? How can I walk again? How can I get my life back again? Which means I don't have to worry about the whole trauma I've been through. It's the perfect diversion, and that's what's happening with a lot of people's physical symptoms. So they're presenting a physical symptom, which means you're just focused on fixing that rather than the thing that needs attention inwardly. So I was like, just thank you, for kind of the life raft that you gave me, to just keep floating. And then I decided to ask for what I wanted. But now I want my foot back. All right. I want my foot back. And the fourth bit of that was, and if you give me my foot back, I promise I will deal with the emotions. So if you do this for me, I promise I will deal with the emotions. And so I went to bed, and the next morning I woke up, I stood up, and my foot worked.
Wow.
And it's continued to work since that day.